Hi guys, I just want to do a quick video. So I posted a thing this morning on Facebook about my fasting and my 32 kilo weight loss, and it got quite a large response on the actual post. But I got a lot of DMs asking me about what program it was and where I got it from and who I'm following and rah rah rah. Let me start off by saying, one, I'm not a nutritionist. Two, I'm not a dietitian. I'm not a doctor. I've got it from nowhere. I'm doing this because I want to do it. It's my journey. Those people that know me, and a lot of people know that I did keto about 3.5 to 4 years ago. And don't get me wrong, keto's great. I loved it because everything tastes great wrapped in bacon. And I wrapped everything in bacon. The downside for me was I love pasta. I love rice, I love potato, I love bread, pizza. And on keto, you have to give up carbs. So it didn't really work for me. It worked a little bit. I lost about 20 kilos, but I put it all back on and more. Now, we all know that I have depression, and late last year, I noticed that my medication wasn't really working properly for me. And so I went and saw my doctor, Dr. Phil, and that's his name, Dr. Phil. And I told him what was going on. You know, I was becoming emotional. I was not in a good headspace. So he said, right, we'll change your meds. So we changed my medication, and that there was a few side effects with that new medication. And one of the side effects was it almost worked like a steroid in that every time I had something to eat, I put on weight. Now, being a truck driver and owning a truck, it's so easy when we start at 2 or 3 in the morning to go, oh, it's 8 o'clock, it's 8 a.m. I'll just stop at the bakery or grab a big pie, and that'll be great, you know. But you do that every day. And then by 11 or 12 o'clock, you're hungry again. And then you say to yourself, right, I'm just going to grab a sandwich, and that's it. And you walk into that takeaway shop, and you grab I always grab an iced coffee of some sort. I grab a sandwich, and then I go, oh, that bit of fish looks good. Give us that bit of fish too. And a cheese and onion toasty. And I better have a cake to wash it down, you know. This was an everyday thing. And what happened was I blew out. I blew out to 140. Actually, it was over 140 kilos. I was in with Phil on the 30th of January and for a checkup. And I stood on the scales and I said, hey, Phil, how accurate are these scales? And he said, they're spot on accurate. What does it say? And it was 141.8, and I was only in a pair of shorts and a t-shirt. So I'll take the 1.8 off. That's the clothes I was wearing. So 140 kilos, I'd say. Anyway, that was a shock to the system for me. I've never been that heavy in my life. Most of my adult life, I've been 95 kilos solid, and this was 140 kilos of fat. So, but the clincher was when I watched back the video I did on TikTok of the Parky One Chip Challenge that I did, and I looked like I had a moon head and I was an egg on legs. It was just a round body with arms and legs sticking out of it. And not only that, I've had chronic back problems for 30 odd years. The last couple of years, with all that weight I've been carrying, I have had sore hips, bad hips, knees. I've been having ankle problems for the last 18 months. My shoulders have been sore because I have to lay on my side because I was so fat I couldn't sleep on my stomach or my back. I wouldn't be able to breathe. And so I decided on the 30th of January I was going to do a 7-day fast. And I've done that before where I literally just drink water for 7 days, no food at all. By about day 5, I found myself very weak, and I was trying to wash the truck and I couldn't use the broom because it was just up in the air, and I just felt I couldn't do it. And I just realized at that time that my body was saying to me I had to feed it. So then I decided, right, I'm going to fast intermittently. I'm going to do an intermittent fast. And there's several ways you can do that, but I want to do it in a way that I don't eat junk food. So my way that I chose to do was to do a 23-in-1. That's 23 hours of not eating and eating one meal a day. Now, everyone knows I can cook, and I know I can cook. I've got no professional training. I'm not a chef, but I know flavour. I know what I like, and I know how to cook, and I know how to make something amazing. So I cook really good food. And so what I decided to do there was have one meal a day, and that's it. So I've told myself for the first probably month, I had to keep telling myself I'm fasting, because we'd have health and safety meetings and there'd be 12 pizzas sitting on the table in the smoko room. Or we'd do an early morning start and they'd put a barbecue on, or they'd put a big box of savouries upstairs for the drivers. But I was fasting, so I couldn't have it. That was about the first month. By the end of the first month, I'd already seen a massive amount of weight loss. And I started feeling better. But I didn't crave anything. I didn't want to stop and get a pie, and all that disappeared. So for me, 23 and 1 works. It works for me completely. I've lost all the back pain. I've got no more joint pain. My hips are great. My ankles are good. My knees are good. My shoulders are good. I don't wake up in agony. I sleep better. I can lay on my stomach, which I haven't done for years. I've actually lost a little bit over 32 kilos, but 32 kilos rounds it. So I think it's 32 and a half or something. I feel better in myself. I feel healthier. I feel younger. I look better. I think I do. I've had people comment that I look better, or they stare at me, they haven't seen me in a while, and go, what's happened here? You've disappeared. So I feel great. So intermittent fasting works for me. It doesn't work for everybody, and I don't recommend everyone does it. I don't recommend anyone does it. Do your research. I didn't really do any research. I knew what fasting was. I'm doing it. It works. A question that Maxine asked was, give me 5 of your main tips. I don't really have one. Here's the tips. This is what I'd say. Start the journey. Stay on it. If you decide to weigh yourself every day, it's not a good idea. But if you do that. If you do weigh yourself every day, here's the thing. Your body will fluctuate up and down all the time. I was at 140 kilos. The next week, let's say a week later, I was at 136 on Monday. And on Tuesday, I got on the scales and I was 136.3. If you see that, don't go, oh, that's it. I've blown it. I give up. I've put on weight. You haven't put on any weight. It's fluid retention. It's your body's natural way of doing things. Because the next time you weigh yourself, you're going to be 600 grams lighter, not 300 grams more. So don't give up. You can break your fast. It's not, there's no, like if, say for instance, I decide to go away for the weekend, I'm not going to miss out on an Eggs Benedict, right? So I'm going to go out for breakfast. I might not do a lunch, but I might. I'm definitely going to go out for dinner. So that's the weekend. So what? So I've eaten more than once a day for a couple of days. Then Monday comes around and I'm back to fasting again. My body's used to it and I stick to that. I'm back to normal. I don't get hunger pains during the day anymore. My portion sizes have shrunk because my stomach's shrunk. So I make really good quality food. I enjoy what I eat. I can eat anything I want. My cousin said, but what about coffee and tea? I have a coffee every morning with full cream milk. I don't have sugar in my coffee, but I've never had sugar in my coffee, so I'm not cutting it out. I just don't have sugar in my coffee. But I still have a coffee every morning, sometimes too. What about alcohol? Can't drink. I have a beer every night. Right? I gave up drinking Victoria Bitter 4 years ago when I started keto, because that just bloats me up, makes me fat, right? So I started drinking Pure Blondes, which is made by the same company as VB. It's Carlton United Breweries in Melbourne. And I love Pure Blondes. They're great. They're a low-carb beer, 80% less carbs or something. I drink Spates. Spates brought out. Spates Summit Ultra Low-Carb beer, right? It's absolutely delicious, great taste. It's low carb. It doesn't, I've got no more stomach. I've lost my stomach. So it doesn't put any weight on. It doesn't give me a bloated stomach. I don't get fat from it. So I can still drink alcohol. And every now and then I'll have a bourbon and Coke or something. It doesn't matter. It's not a strict diet. You're not on a diet. You're not dieting. You're just fasting. You're fasting for 24 hours a day or 23 hours a day and then having a meal. And you can have whatever you want. Literally anything. Rice, pasta, bread. It doesn't matter. Potatoes. I had a baked potato the other night. I baked the potato till it was crispy on the outside. I cut it in half. I dug it out. I turned that into a mash with garlic and stuff in it. Then I put that back in. Then I topped it with cheese and I threw it in the oven and I baked it till it was crispy on the top. I'm still losing weight. I'm losing weight every day. If I weigh myself every day, it's a bad thing. I don't do it. I weigh myself probably every third day or fourth day, only because when I first started, the weight went like that really sort of, not quick, but it came down. Where now it's sort of plateaued a little bit, but it still comes off. It still drops off on a daily basis. Some days I'll lose 100 grams. Some days I'll lose 300 grams. Here's the thing. Losing weight slowly is the best way to lose weight. That thing I do know for a fact. If you drop all your weight really fast, you'll put it back on just as fast and you'll double it. Losing weight fast doesn't work. Losing weight over time, so I started on the 30th of January, so I'm 5 months into a fast. And I've lost 32 kilos over 5 months. I feel amazing. I feel so good, honestly. And my goal is this. My goal is to get to 100 kilos. When I'm at 100 kilos, I'll be happy. I'm still going to fast. Originally, in January, it was going to be for a week. Then it was going to be for 4 weeks. And at 4 weeks, I was like, do you know what? I love this. I'm eating what I want. I'm making awesome food. I'm losing weight. I don't exercise. I don't go to a gym. I still drink alcohol. I live my life. I'm happy. I'm healthier than I've been in. I'm going to say I'm healthier than I've been in 20 years. And the boys, JJ's mates, if they hear that, they're going to love it because everything I've done has been for 20 years. So fasting, intermittent fasting. I don't follow anyone's program. This is my own thing. I enjoy it. I feel great. I feel, honestly, I feel amazing. My aches and now also, my physical health was probably at a 1 6 months ago. It'd be a 9 now. My mental health was at a 0 6 months ago. My mental health is almost back to normal. I feel like this is something I'm 56 next month. I don't even feel 50. I feel great. Not felt this good for such a long time. If anyone got anything out of this, I'm happy for you. I'm not a dietitian, a nutritionist, or a doctor. So anything I've said, I'm saying it for my own benefit. But if you got anything out of it, I'm happy for you. The main thing is, don't give up. You can't break it. You're not in ketosis, your body's not in ketosis. I guess it's a form of ketosis, but it's not ketosis because you're eating carbs. Don't get put off. Don't say, well, I broke it yesterday. I went with a friend and had brunch and now that's it, the end of it. It doesn't matter because the day after you go back on it. And the weight will still come off. So, yeah, if anyone got anything out of this, I'm really happy. Sorry I've blabbered on for so long. But that's I wanted to say this so that people could get where I'm coming from. One of my mates back home said, you need to go to the gym. I don't need to go to the gym. Why? I haven't had to go to the gym for the whole 5 months and I'm losing weight. I feel great. I feel mentally healthy. I'm physically healthy. I'm doing stuff I haven't been able to do for so long. And it's only getting better and continuously getting better. So ramble. Up your kilt. Good health to you. And if this helps, it helps. Thanks for listening. You guys are awesome.